Hey guys, SailorturntGamer here, and as many as you know, PAX West took place in Seattle, Washington this year, and they held a panel for Bioware's new IP, Anthem. Following the panel, we learned a lot of information about what to expect. In today's video, we're going to talk about everything we learned regarding the agents that reside in the world of Anthem. Questions like where can we find them, who are the ones we know, and what factions do they belong to? And other questions like what makes them special, how can they affect us, and much more. Everything we cover today, you guys can find on the official Anthem website. Link is in the description box below. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Fort Tarsis is one of the few human settlements that we know about, and freelancers aren't the only people that live there. We know there are several factions that reside in Tarsis as well. Sentinels, Corvus, Ciphers, and Arcanus are the main set of factions that will be there along with the freelancers. For each faction, we the pilot will be able to communicate with different groups of people that represent each faction. Those people are called agents. Agents will be people in Tarsis that we can depend on for obtaining missions that we can accept that will give us additional lore as well as provide texture to the world. We can expect each agent to be bursting with personality because at the panel we learned that each agent will give the world a reactive feeling due to, as we are experiencing the story of Fort Tarsis, it is said to change based upon our individual mission progression. Expect each agent to have their own personalities. Expect to have your favorites and your most hated. Examples of some personality types were given at the panel. Jarl is a freelancer agent type, and he has a very supportive personality. As we are completing his missions, it is said that he will provide various forms of supportive commentary, encouraging us to do well. As a representative of the freelancers, his quest will be designed in a way to improve the freelancers' prestige and give them more respect in the fort. Jarl's missions should have a heroic feel to them. Expect to undergo missions like paying respect to fallen soldiers. Mike Gamble stated at the panel that freelancers are on hard times because of previous events that took place in the story, and so factions like the Sentinels look down on them. Hopefully we learn exactly what happened. While communicating with agents, they will provide us lore bits throughout the conversation. An example was given at the panel. In the clip shown at PAX, Jarl is briefing the player what freelancers do. They also spoke about Matthias and Bryn, the Arcanus and Sentinel agents respectively. Arcanus are the oldest faction in Bastion. They can be found at every level of society, from giving basic instructions to researching sacred relics in the wild. There are various Arcanus academies depending on the field of study, hence the difference between Owen and Fae. All Arcanists see the gathering and preservation of information as their spiritual and moral duty. These agents, along with Matthias, will help us learn about the Shaper and Shaper technology. Also, a little fun fact about the Arcanists, they are known for getting lost in the wild. So I know we're going to see a lot of those, hey, can you find this guy for me? Or hey, I think I lost this very important item that's actually a piece of lore somewhere type of quest. Now, Bryn, I expect her to be my favorite agent. Victor Kringle stated that Bryn has a very sassy personality. So alternatively to Jarl, she will provide various forms of sassy commentary, making us laugh and keeping us on our toes while completing her mission. Bryn represents the Sentinel faction, which is like the local police force in Fort Tarsis. Lastly, we learned that she is a mid-level lieutenant. At endgame, agents will not just disappear. They will offer contracts that act as a story-like kind of thing that will give us a form of in-game currency. Based off the praise that were held for agents at the panel, I hope they can be utilized fully along with strongholds and anything else they introduce in the Elder game. One of the last things they discussed before answering questions from the fans was enemy factions. Obviously we need things to shoot at, and we can't shoot at ourselves. There are 4 primary enemy factions. We have the Scar. They are created by chaos, and more specifically, they are insect-like creatures trying to emulate people. We have the Dominion, and they are an enemy faction to the north that wants to harness the Anthem of Creation for evil. We have Outlaws, and they are bandits trying to make a living through smuggling. And lastly, we have a faction consisting of animals, or basically like monsters, similar to the Ursex that we saw that has been featured in many of the promotional gameplay thus far. I hope at endgame it becomes possible to have agents from enemy factions to obtain things that can enhance customization, and maybe get gear mods and things that can help with the damage against those factions, or maybe even just learn lore from the inside that we couldn't get from an agent inside Fort Tarsis. But that part is just speculation. With Bioware's ability to tell great stories, agents can really be used as a tool to allow players to experience the story at a whole new level. I'm extremely excited to meet every agent inside Fort Tarsus and in the world of Anthem. What about you guys? What factions do you think will contain your favorite agent? Which faction do you guys think you might like the least? Even though we belong to the faction of freelancers, I believe my favorite faction might be the Arcanists, since they want to know as much as possible about the Anthem of Creation. And I think at this point, it might be too difficult for me to decide which faction I might hate the most. Make sure to put what you think will be your favorite and most hated factions in the comment section below. Until then, tune in for the next episode of Anthem and Beyond. You can catch me streaming on Twitch TV at twitch.com/SailorturntGamer. If you like any of my content, then you should consider being a part of our community by liking the video, hitting that subscribe button, and joining the fleet. Maybe even giving the video a share. Until then, this sailor will be out in the open ocean. See you in the next video. Goodbye.